Well, this week, as we prepare for Palm Sunday in our local churches and ministries, it's appropriate that we are moving into the final 24 hours of the life of Jesus in the Gospel of Mark. And it's amazing the extent to which Mark seems to slow down his narrative in chapter 14. We've been accustomed, of course, to Mark's fast pace, the use of terms like then, and immediately, immediately, immediately. The action moves so quickly. And then suddenly in Mark 14, our time almost grinds to a halt as Mark painstakingly tells us about Jesus' final 24 hours. This week I'm going to ask you to perform an exercise that we really haven't focused on yet, and that is to compare Mark to the other synoptic gospels and even to John, to determine what is Mark focusing on in Mark 14 and 15. Now I realize that's tricky because at least the synoptic tradition most likely begins with Mark. So Matthew and Luke are amending Mark, adding to Mark, replacing Mark and themes with their own themes. So you'll have to deal with that nuance in your writing, but I do think it'll be a very fruitful exercise. And don't leave John out, because the jury is still way out as to whether or not John knows Mark, and John may very well know Mark and simply wants to do something different with the traditional material. So I think it will be a very enlightening exercise to look at all four gospel accounts in order to answer the question, what is Mark really trying to say? What features of this traditional material is Mark highlighting? I'm also asking you to perform a character analysis on the people that show up in Mark 14 and 15, and the roads chapter will guide you in that. Well, I'm delighted that so many of you have reached out to me with specific questions about the paper. I'm more than happy to answer emails or to set up a phone or video chat with any of you to make sure that you're moving with confidence into and through the research phase, which is, of course, the most important phase. Don't forget about the guide and presentation that I put up on Unit 6, and there's also more information about the paper in the syllabus. So I'm trying to give you probably more information than you actually need to build confidence that you can do this paper. Have a great week. God bless.